Well, this here is the all new Hyundai Verna. I'm sure you've already seen this car in pictures and you've already seen people talk about the looks and stuff like that. So I won't really get too much into styling, but I will tell you that this car looks really nice in person. Pictures and video don't do this car any justice because I've seen a lot of you on social media writing negative comments about the car, but in totality, you have to see it at a showroom to really see how this car is. It's a very stylish looking car, no doubt about that. And in particular, the favorite thing that I like is the rear lamp treatment, the combination lamps, as well as the big beam. It really looks very stylish and just takes the game further from all its rivals. In the front end, the face of the car, it looks like Kit from the late 80s and early 90s. Kit, of course, from Knight Rider is a car which we all saw and aspired to own, and this is the new aspiration among sedans. In India, it really is a stylish looking car, especially this part where there are lots of cuts, lots of creases, lots of styling elements to make it look muscular and stand out from a sea of other cars. If you're seeing this car on the road, then definitely you will not mistake it for anything else. You will know that it's a new Verna which is there on the road when you see it. Well, that's enough about the styling. Let's jump inside, talk about the interiors, drive it around, and then tell you how good the new Verna is and why I think that this is a new benchmark in the segment. Well, so what is Budmo? Well, I'm sure by now all of you are aware that Budmo are the online expert when it comes to spare parts. And the best point is that they have the spare parts for all vehicles available in India. So even if your car is out of production now, maybe you have a large generation model, even then they have the spare part available. They have the entire catalog. And the best point is that they have the same spare part from a host of different component makers, which gives you great flexibility in the pricing overall. So check them out today. Check out the app. It's available both for iOS as well as Android devices. And also check out the website for the latest schemes as well as offers. Well, so now inside the cabin of the new Verna. Now this is an all new car. Don't think it's just an update. It's a completely new design. It's completely built from scratch. So it's a completely new product, and it shows once you step inside the interior. The cabin is a very classy place to be. It's a very well laid out cabin, very thoughtful, and it'll remind you of the much more expensive Hyundai Ioniq, because these two screens over here are very similar in terms of design and the layout, and in this part is very similar. This of course is the complete instrumentation for the gauges and it's complete digital, and this of course is the touchscreen, and it really is fantastic. Hyundai makes the best infotainment system without a doubt, and this one is no different. All the menus, sub menus, everything is very clearly marked. You of course get ambient lighting over here just below the AC vents and over here in the doors, and you can choose from 64 different colors. Yes, 64, that's quite a lot. You also get a very smart panel over here, touch panel, and you might think that this is only for the AC controls, but no, you press this button and it converts for the infotainment as well. So one touch of a button here converts the panel to AC as well as for infotainment, and of course the best point about this car is that you get front cooled seats and also heated seats. Yes, cooled seats were present even on the last generation of the Verna, which sold from 2017, 2018 onwards, and this one now also gets heated option in it. So it really is fantastic. Of course, you also get wireless charging, and the steering wheel also is really nice to grip, and the materials overall are excellent. Every panel, every plastic, even smaller buttons over here, everything feels made from top notch material. Seat comfort is good and the support for your thighs is very good, and in general it's a fantastic place to be. The ambience inside the car, it definitely feels like you're sitting inside a much more expensive car. This of course is the top of the line version, but it feels like you're sitting inside a car which costs you about 25-30 lakh rupees, not just 16-17 lakh rupees. Of course, lots of ADAS features as well on this car: adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, lane departure warning and stuff like that. So a lot of features, a lot of safety kit as well to talk about, and really Hyundai has outdone itself with the amount of features as well as the stylish cabin that they've offered on this car. This truly is the new benchmark in this segment, and I have to say, glove box, it's cold, it's decent in size. You also get a place where you can keep those beverages, and the door bins are large enough to have those big bottles for them. Of course, this one is a small one, but you can keep a couple of bottles of this size and shape away in the door bins without any fuss whatsoever. So I'll give the front end of the cabin a strong score of 10 out of 10. Now let's jump in the back seat and see how good that really is. Well, so as soon as you step inside the new Verna, you'll have to pinch yourself and tell yourself that this is not the Elantra, this is the Verna. Now, the Elantra, which is a car that Hyundai used to sell a couple of years ago, was really spacious in the back, and the Verna, which they also used to sell, the last gen Verna, wasn't really the best in terms of space, in terms of leg room. But the new version, the updated version, the completely new Verna is absolutely brilliant. It really is fantastic. Knee room is massive. Headroom also is quite generous. My height for reference is 5'10". So if you're about 5'10", it offers 5'10". If you're 5'11", or even 6 or even 6'1", you'll have no problem with headroom as well as leg room. It's also very wide car. The seat squab is quite generous. So your knee and hip angle also is a nice 90-degree. And of course, you also get armrest where you can keep a couple of beverages. You also get your own, you know, adjustable headrests over here, a couple of AC vents, and 2 Type-C charging points, large windows at the back, and a blind as well. So, you know, it really is a fantastic package, and really Hyundai seems to have thought of everything inside this cabin. I'll give the back seat a strong sort of 10 out of 10, just like the front. Well, so the boot of the Verna is the best in its segment. It's deep, it's spacious, quite wide, and the aperture also is quite nice and big. So you can easily load those big bags and big boxes without any issue whatsoever. When it comes to total packaging, Hyundai really has taken care of everything inside this car. The spacious cabin, large boot really means that there is no issues whatsoever with the new Hyundai Verna. 10 out of 10 to the boot of this car. Well, so now I'm driving the Hyundai Verna, and this car comes with 1.5 petrol and also a turbo petrol, which makes 160 bhp. This one that I'm driving makes about 115 bhp, and of course you also get an automatic gearbox with it, which is really nice to use. You also get a manual, but today we're driving the automatic, so we'll focus ourselves on the automatic version. What you'll really enjoy about this car, of course, is the fact that the gears are very quick responding, especially if you use the paddle shifters over here. It's a 6-speed unit, and it just loves to go up and down without any fuss whatsoever. The engine also is a very silent unit. It's inherently quiet, and in fact when you start off from cold, there isn't any noise or any kind of vibration which enters the cabin, so it's really well isolated from everything else out there. And the suspension also works really well. You know, a lot of cars, they have very tight suspensions in this segment, but not the case with the Verna. It has a very well-tuned suspension, both for slower speeds as well as for faster speeds on the highway. The suspension feels very good and gives you a good amount of confidence as well, especially if you're doing speeds in excess of 100 kph on the highway. You'll never feel like you should reduce the speeds. It will definitely give you a lot of confidence on the highway. And slow city speeds also, it does take the sting out from the worst of worst roads, and the worst bumps and potholes are taken care of without any fuss whatsoever. Another thing which you will like is that the steering wheel is very light, but despite being light, which means you will not tire yourself out in the city, it's also quite accurate, and it's got decent feedback and good feel that it has to offer. So that's also something which the Hyundai Verna has on offer. And the visibility also is quite good. You can easily see the edge of the bonnet by just stretching out your neck. Rear visibility is good, and of course it has a lot of safety kit as well, and the visibility from this mirror also is genuinely very good. So really, the Hyundai Verna seems like a very good package, and just seems that it has covered all its bases quite well, and it does everything quite well. Of course, the 160 bhp version is the one to go for if you are a keen driver. It offers you very crisp steering. It offers you very tightened up suspension setup, and just in general, it's a great car for people who like to drive in a very accelerating manner, in a very passionate manner. So that's the one to go for. Definitely check that car out as well. We'll stop the car now and give you a definitive verdict as well. Well, so what is my summary report of the new Verna? Well, as I said when I started this video, this really is the new benchmark. It's a great car to drive, it's a great car to look at, it's a great car in terms of features, in terms of safety, and it's also very good in terms of space as well as comfort. So really, Hyundai seems to have thought of everything, and the icing on the cake really is the pricing. I think the starting price from 10.89 lakh rupees is very good value, because you get a full-size sedan for that price. And in fact, this car with its features, its comfort and luxury, doesn't seem like a car from the mid-size segment. It feels like a car from the executive sedan segment, and definitely it's a very strong package and a new benchmark in the mid-size sedan segment. Just go ahead at a Hyundai dealership, take a test drive, and I'm sure you'll be just as convinced about this car as I have been today. See you guys soon in the next one.